Hello everybody and welcome back to another F1 2020 video. This evening we're racing with the As One League in Bahrain. We won the opening round, so let's see what we can manage this evening. It's one-shot qualifying, so while we watch my lap, I will explain I did do a lap in the one-shot qualifying and we were all sat on the grid and there was a few technical issues with the game where everybody's game froze. We were all just sat on the grid waiting to go. So unfortunately we had to do it, create an unranked lobby and do it afterwards, unfortunately. I got pole on the first qualification. However, they decided that they wanted to, rather than put in the grid positions what they were in the first run, they wanted to do qualifying again, which was rather infuriating for me, as I had secured that pole by a good couple of tenths as well. But let's give it a shot. Let's see what we can do. We've gone purple in the first sector here, trying to keep it neat and tidy. This is looking to be a good lap so far. Last sector. We don't go purple in the middle sector, so we've obviously lost a little bit of time, unfortunately, there. Down, braking at 100 metres into the last corner. Let's get a nice drive off the corner, up to the line. And where does it put us? It's not gone purple, so it's not first. Unfortunately, it's not pole. It is second place, unfortunately. It was only second place by 1/10, so it was very, very close. But considering I got pole first time, that's rather infuriating. Strategy reckons it's a 2-stop, but I'm going to go with soft to hards and a 1-stop. So 5 lights. And away we go. And initially it's a good getaway, but we get too much wheel spin. And second place has jumped us already. It isn't a good start. We have a look, we back up the inside, brake a bit later, lock up, run a bit wide. We get a little bit of a nudge from the rear with somebody else as well. We've already lost contact with the first place, but we've managed to hold second, fortunately. That was very lucky indeed, but not a great start once again from myself. As we pop to a replay of the start once more. Again, starts really are my weak point on this game, unfortunately. If I can get them hooked up, I'm doing alright, but I just can't seem to get them right, unfortunately. I do run full manual starts and everything. As we fast forward a little bit, we catch up to the chap in first right away. We're right all over the back of him straight away. Yeah, and I run no assist, so no traction control, no ABS, full manual gears. Everything. The only assist I do run is the pit release assist because I'm just lazy like that, but the actual pit entry and pit exit I run full manual as well. We exit the last lap. You can see no DRS obviously yet. We go purple in the middle and the last sector, so we've caught him again. We really need that DRS help because we are quicker than him. As we get our first track limits warning of the evening, we are quicker than him at this point, but we just can't find a way past, unfortunately. But we're quite happy just sitting there, saving a little bit of fuel, saving our battery. We're not going to use all of it. We're seeing where he's weak and where he's strong and where we're likely to be able to make a move. We don't want to use all of our battery because once we got past him, as he runs a bit wide there, cuts us up. Once we do get past him, he's going to get DRS back on us as well. So we want to break that 1 second window. So we want to save a lot of battery here. As you can see, coming off the last corner, he's just got much better drive on me, unfortunately. But DRS is enabled now, so that might help us find a way past him. And like I said, once we do that, the plan will be just to bolt down the road as quick as we can. DRS towing us along quite nicely. As we come into this right-hander, we're trying to get on the power nice and early, but it's too much and we nearly lose the back end. Nearly putting it in the wall, unfortunately. We lose nearly a second, just over a second to him, unfortunately. But we start catching him once again over the course of that lap. As you can see, just go into a little TV camera of me chasing him down. We've pulled a really, really big gap already to the guys behind, 2.4, 2.5 seconds, I believe. But let's see what we can manage now for the rest of this lap. Like I said, DRS is enabled now. It's helped tow us along and keep in touch with him. We feel like the pace is much quicker, so let's see what we can manage. Take it a bit slower into that right-hander, but we'll make sure we get a nice exit. And as you can see, we use a bit of battery. We're up into Rich, and we're catching on him. We're right behind him as we enter the last corner. Let's do the same again. Nice exit coming out of there, which we do get. Put it battery on overtake. We're in Rich. DRS is enabled. He's running out of battery, as you can see by the flashing light. And this is going to be a fairly straightforward pass now with that overspeed. We can't take the line we want, otherwise we'll be cutting him off. Loses a bit of time, but we managed to park the car on the apex, so he can't attack us back. So, as I said now, we've got a fair bit of battery. Let's try and bolt up the road as quick as we possibly can. Let's fast forward a little bit. As you can see through this first sector, we are gaining a fair bit on him. We've brought the gap out to 7 tenths already. Fortunately, he's going to have DRS through this middle sector, which is going to help him keep him in touch. But our straight line speed is actually very impressive, coupled with a bit of battery, and we've got him. But as we go into this right-hander, it's starting to creep above a second, but if you keep an eye on behind, I think he clips the curb on the inside and it spins him and puts him in the barrier. So straight away, we don't have to worry about him now. As you can see, drops back 5.5, nearly 6 seconds further down the road, and now we have ourselves a very comfortable lead indeed. And we come over the line onto lap 6, and it is a 1:30.479, fastest lap of the race so far. He decides to pit as well. We have a nice 7.5 second gap to the chap that was behind him, Riley in the Haas, which is ideal. So we are very, very comfortably leading this race. As you can see, the laps roll by and we're pulling out about a second a lap, if not more at times, over the cars behind. So we are looking very, very good for this race victory as things stand. End of lap 9, we stretch our soft tyre stint out as far as we can. Take it nice and easy, coming in the pits. Don't want to get a penalty. But look, we're at 64% tyre wear. That's not great at all, unfortunately. But onto the hards, and that should last us to the end of the race. As we exit the pits, we've got Jim Strav, who is now taking over the lead of the race. He's on medium compound tyres, so he's yet to stop. Same with another Rushy as well. As we rejoin, though, we've got the Maverick on hard tyres, who's already pitted and has undercut us an awful lot, and he's only 7 tenths behind us now. So staying out those few extra laps has cost us dear. However, the thought was I was so comfortable and had such a lead, if we let that lead disappear a little bit by staying out, but it gives us fresher tyres towards the end of the Grand Prix should anyone start attacking us. Jim Strav, for example, who's now leading this race, he's only 9 seconds up the road from us. He's going to put on fresh hard compound tyres soon, and so he might be able to work his way back and start attacking me by the end of the race, and I want the freshest tyres possible that I can on that one. We skip end of lap 18, coming on to lap 19 now. You see we got a 1.3 second gap to the chap in front, 9 second gap to Jim Strav. We're catching them quite nicely at this point, and pulled a really nice gap to the Maverick behind us. It's already 2 seconds after only a lap. Coming into the middle sector of lap 11 here, we're all over the back of this Red Bull. It's only going to be a matter of time. We are going to have DRS down this middle straight. Let's get a nice exit out of this corner. Very tricky to hook it up. Short shifting up to through third and fourth. DRS, we're going to use a lot of battery, try and get past him now, which we do manage to do. We go up the inside, we compromise our entry a bit. He's still hanging out on the outside. We give him just enough room but we're aggressive enough to show him that we are going to have this position, and up into second we go. We are going to be a little bit vulnerable with the DRS down the start-finish straight, but we've got a fair bit of battery that we've saved up through the course of the first half of this race, so let's use that now and try and pull away from him. The gap is still, we've lost a bit of time to Jim Strav doing that overtake, unfortunately.
9.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 11 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:31.3.
We just check in with Jeff as to what sort of lap times Jim Strav is setting. If we can start catching him now, which we do start doing, you can see we gained a couple of tenths already in that first sector. If we can start slowly catching him, that will only benefit us and leave him further behind us when he does pit. We've got the Red Bull behind again. By the end of this lap, we're 1.8 seconds. So the pace is there. We are very, very comfortably looking good for the win in this race as things stand, which will be our second win in a row in this league. Come on to lap 13 now. Now on at the end of lap 13, sorry, and Jim Strav is in the pits for fresh hard compound tyres. So that's not too bad on that one. We've got a nice gap. We've got 4-second gap to Riley behind us. Jim Strav has a fair bit of traffic as well to go through, so we don't have to worry about him right now, which is ideal. But on lap 15, as we come into the end of the first sector, safety car comes out. Somebody is retired, and that is not what we want, because we've built ourselves a really, really big gap, and we're very, very comfortable indeed, and that's going to be stretched to nothing now. But we have a decision to make right now. Do we come in the pits and go on to fresh mediums or not? If we do, we could put ourselves behind traffic and have to overtake. However, if we don't, we could have medium compound tyre runners, fresh mediums behind us. We decide not to, and we're going to hope that we have the pace to hold back the guys behind. I didn't want to compromise myself. If I'd gone in the pits, we could have ended up being behind a few people and had to work for this race victory, but I think we're going to anyway, as Jim Strav obviously not having to pit because he's just got on his fresh hards, goes with the same tactic as me. So we've got him behind us on fresher tyres. We've also got Riley behind him on fresh mediums, and a few more fresh medium compound tyre runners on fresh tyres as well. So we're going to be in a bit of trouble here, but let's see what we can do. We decide to wait on this restart very, very late. We go in third gear and we get a bit of wheel spin. It's not a great start, and Jim Strav has managed to get a much better restart than us. We go very defensive because he is going to have a look into turn one, but we want to take the inside line. We brake, cold brakes. He comes round, he gives us a little tap. There's nothing we can do. Nearly spin it, unfortunately. For us, we do get away with that, and now we've got the Haas all over the back of us, but we're going to get a nice run at the Ferrari coming into turn two. We go around the outside, we late on the brakes, but we just get a bit of understeer, can't keep the minimum apex speed up, and now we've got the Haas up the inside who's going to take advantage of this. He gives us a little shove and pushes us wide. We'll try hold on as much as we can, but we're going to have to concede that position. We just didn't get the tyres switched on very well, and we're in serious trouble on this first lap, but he gets a bad exit. We have a look at the inside, but it's very, very brave move to go up the inside there, and I just didn't want to risk it in the end. He closed the door on us rather quickly, and there was nowhere we could go. As we pop to a replay here, as you can see, the Ferrari just turns in across us. There's nowhere we can go, and we have to steer away from the corner in order not to spin, which knocks him a little bit further wide. It was just a bit of a mess, really. I think he was so keen to get past us, and I was trying to defend for my might. It was one of those things, but there we go. As we speed up on lap 19 here, we are still all over the back of this Haas, who I believe has a bit of wing damage, but he is on fresh medium tyres, so we may struggle. Let's see what we can do. coming into the last corner. We're right behind him here. We get a nice line through there. We do run a bit too much curb, but it's okay. We got away with it. No DRS. Let's put it into overtake. We run out of battery for that lap, unfortunately, which delays us a little bit. So it's side by side coming into turn 1. We go very late on the brakes, up the inside, lock up, but we park the car and make sure the Haas can't get back at us. Coming up to turn 2 now, he's still all over the back of us. We place our car very defensively, very cleverly, so that we can still get a nice line through turn 2, which we do. And we've got second place once again. But Jim Strava is already 2 seconds down the road, and it has cost us dearly, that. And as we pop to a fast forward, now we're going to try and chase Jim Strava down, but he's got fresher tyres than me. He obviously got them switched on better, and also I've had to use a lot of battery in getting past the Haas driver and get my position back. So as we listen now,
car in front is 2.4 seconds. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 5 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:32.5. They're extending their advantage by 2 seconds a lap. Okay, the stewards have...
Yeah, as you can hear, that all that fighting and squabbling cost us 2 seconds a lap on that. We do, over the course of the next few laps, we tend to drop about 3 tenths, 4 tenths a lap to him. He just has the pace over us. The pace that we had earlier on in the race has seemingly gone away, unfortunately.
3.3 seconds. They're on 31.
As we watch the laps roll by, the gap is just getting bigger and bigger. It's nearly 4 seconds now. It is 4 seconds coming on to lap 26. Lap 27 comes by and it's up at 4.2 seconds, the biggest it's ever been. However, we do go at the end of lap 27. We catch up with a lap runner, and we get DRS for our troubles, which is ideal. So hopefully this will help propel us forward a little bit. These hard compound tyres are coming into their range a little bit more for me now, which is ideal. So the gap was 4.5 seconds as we crossed the line. We've already got that down to 4.2 through the first couple of corners, which is quite nice. Into turn 2 now, straddling the curb, little lockup. We have to shift down to second briefly just to get the car turned through the middle sector. We've gone personal best in sector 1, using all the curb, all the track we can, short shifting up through to third to get nice traction off of the tight hairpin. Brake as late as we can into there and miss the apex a little bit, but it doesn't lose us too much time. Small snap of oversteer on the exit, but we're looking pretty good at this point.
Currently, the fastest lap is a 1:30.1.
And we just checked what the fastest lap of the race was. It's a 1:30.1 so far. Our fastest lap is a 1:30.5, just shy of. But already, so far through this lap, we have gained on Jim Strava with now 3.9 seconds, which is nice, but it is the penultimate lap, and we are going to come on to the final lap now, and it is too little, too late, unfortunately. Little snap of oversteer on the exit once more. We cross the line. It's a 1:30.379. It's not quick enough for the fastest lap of the race, unfortunately. We do go for it again on this lap, but we end up making just a couple of little tiny errors, lose a bit too much time, which is a bit unfortunate, but we managed to gain time on Jim Strava in the lead. So unfortunately my pace has come a bit too late in this race. What was looking to be a certain victory, I was absolutely running away with it. The safety car has thrown a big spanner in the works, and now we are only going to manage P2 in this race. We do have a lovely gap to third place, so we do have the pace still, but Jim Strava has looked it through with the safety car a little bit, but his pace after that was just phenomenal, and he takes the checkered flag. We come across the line, purple last sector, but it's not enough. We are second place in this race. Can't complain too much at that. We won the first race, we're now second in this race, so that leaves us with quite a decent lead in the championship, as our closest championship rivals so far finished, I believe, 4th and 9th in this race. But there we have it. Thank you ever so much for watching once again. I look forward to seeing you next time. If you could please like and subscribe to my channel, that'd be very, very much appreciated. And any suggestions, if there's a better way to improve these videos, please let me know. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.